It's a pretty serious issue, but I want to share it with you, but
Oh, okay. Are you getting ready for one?
not supposed to be done in person, a personal. But I want to share it with you, but
Oh, okay. Are you getting ready for one?
not.
Yeah, I got it in my mailbox. Just might need some water.
It's right there.
Okay.
How you doing?
Sorry about that, sir.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. He's the town attorney.
Wasn't there something home?
Sorry to knock your tape. Hang on.
Good evening and welcome to the Rush Organization Meeting, January 5th, 2026. There's no public comment period scheduled for this special first meeting of August 2026. The first regular meeting of the town board is Wednesday, January 14th. Do we stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome again. This is not a regular meeting. It's part one of our organizational meeting for 2026. These are the resolutions needed to get us started for 2026. Other resolutions will be prepared for review and consideration in our next meeting. We appreciate the patience and understanding of employees as we take the necessary time to gain a more in-depth knowledge of the revenue and expenses for 2026. This is important not only for 2026, but in preparing for 2027. We need to address the extraordinary increases in medical insurance costs and recognize that our fund balance is being used to balance our budget. Once those reserve funds are gone, they are not replaced.
Supervisor Jenkins, would you like me to call the roll?
Yes, would you call the roll, please?
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Here.
Councilman Brown,
Here.
Councilman Kives,
Here,
Councilman Washington,
Here.
Supervisor Jenkins.
Here. Resolution 1, 2026. I move that the town board acknowledge and approve the following positions and where possible, appointments of persons to the offices and positions specified for the year beginning January 1, 2026 and ending December 31st, 2026. The complete motion is in front of you. This is the summary. Positions that have been appointed: Assessors Clerk, Barbara DeGraff. Building Clerk, Marjorie Henderson, support for Planning, Zoning, and Conservation Board. Dog Control Officer, Michael Sarr. Maintenance Laborers, John Few, Jeff Hargrave, Richard Snyder. Town Historian, Susan Mee. Recreation Supervisor, Patricia Stevens. Positions under review are to be determined. Budget Director, Laborer, Gardener, Secretary to Supervisor, Finance Assistant, Bookkeeper to be determined by Supervisor, Code Enforcement Officers, Building Inspector, Fire Marshal, Floodplain Administrator. Can I get a second?
I'll make the second with a question on what's the approximate timeline of these trying to pick out new people? Because are we leaving our fire code and building inspector the town exposed by not having them appointed? I'm just asking the question, that's.
Well, we haven't taken them from their job. It's just that we're going to take the time to see.
So they're still.
They're still employed and they're still being paid.
How do we extend their appointment though? Because if at the last organizational meeting, if it expired on December 31 of 25, essentially they're not on the books as of right now.
But if we put that in motion right now, then we are locked in if we feel the need that we need to make some changes. As it is, we have time.
So to that point though, could we make it at a minimal provision, not provisional, but
30 days or something?
30 days,
So
60
we're looking
days?
at 120 days, 3 months, to look to see where we can make changes. Right now, we're looking at a lot of money going out, and we have to start focusing on our budget. Okay, and we need to start looking. A lot of towns, some of the things that are in what we're looking at here, some of the issues are other towns, some things we're paying for double, other towns are not paying for. We want to take time to take a look at that. And in order to do that, we have to put this on the review.
Understandable, I guess, the one laborer, gardener to be determined, understandable. What else? You know, budget director to be determined by supervisor, understandable, because we have an accountant. I guess my biggest concern is fire marshal, building inspector.
Well,
Especially-
Patricia will still be here, but we're gonna take a serious look at the cost. You know, we're spending over close to $200,000 on 3 positions,
So without,
but just have different names here. And we're gonna take a look at it. That's why we're doing it. And the only way we can do that without making it full-time and meaning that we wouldn't be able to make any changes if we do that tonight.
If I may, I think that what Councilperson Brown is saying is that, and can everybody hear me okay? I think maybe you're saying that, how do we even bring them to the table to keep working in this agreement?
Well, they are
Still-
working. So what's the difference? We
But if
haven't
they're-
asked anybody to
We
leave
know they're coming to work tomorrow.
Right.
Without,
because I've
being
talked
safe.
with all of these people.
Okay.
And I've made it clear what we're looking at and why.
I just, code enforcement, building inspector, fire marshal, important things that I think we have to have.
Sure we
And just
do.
not seeing the name on there or in some sort of provision that they are still, employed at the rate that they were, but last year, to be determined at this date. Because there's no date
Okay.
associated with to be determined.
Well, we're looking at the first 100 days.
so if I, sorry to interrupt, Supervisor, I just wonder, and did you have an agreement with them that they would still be coming to work until to be determined?
Yes,
You had
they
a
know that they are still working.
gentleman's agreement?
I have talked with, no gentleman's agreement. We did not say you are dismissed from service.
If I may, it sounds like what Councilman Brown is suggesting is maybe some type of resolution allowing them to continue in an acting capacity until the position's filled on a full-time basis. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, essentially.
That I think just he's requesting something to formalize the understanding. It's up to you.
Well, the positions are still being looked at, but they are still on their jobs on a daily basis. And we will have a decision between now and 100 days from now. But we need time. I've only had about 30 days. Okay, and the reason I ran is because I know that other towns, we are going and we are looking at right sizing our town with towns the size of Rush. And right now, when I look at these positions, and we're paying over close to $200,000 on 3 positions, we need to take a serious look at that. And I need time to do that. If I say what you're asking me to say, then I'm locked in without any changes until 2027, or until December 31st, 2026. But we have the time now to take a look so that we can see if there's anything that we can do to lower those costs.
Agreed.
Okay, because other towns are not paying that. Okay, things like floodplain administrator, other towns, we're paying over $10,000 for that. And we're still having floods that are destroying our insurances. Okay, and other towns are not paying anything for that, but they still have their building inspector. That's what I'm taking a look at.
Agreed.
Okay,
Agreed that everything should be looked at.
and
But I just, without having a name there, and whether it's a gentleman's agreement or an email between you and John or you and Rick.
No.
There's nothing in writing saying they're gonna come into work tomorrow, and is that leaving the town at a liability to not have a
Well,
name?
if they choose not
place.
to come to work tomorrow, it's of their choice. They have not been asked not to come to work, not to continue doing their job. Haven't been asked, and they've been told that they have all the right to continue to do their job. That we are looking, exactly what I have here, that's what I told them.
So why not at the end of to be determined by this date?
Because we need to have the time to look. If I do that, then I have locked myself in again. I'm not doing it. I don't have to.
It just doesn't seem comfortable to not have a name for something
Well, it
that,
doesn't seem comfortable that we're paying over $200,000 when we don't have it. And we don't even take the time to take a look at it.
agreed, and you said,
And what I'm saying to you is, what you asking me to do, I'm locking the town in. That we will not be able to do anything except what's there right now.
I'm not asking you to
Until
lock
we
in
have
for
a
an
ti-
entire year. What I'm
but you're telling
asking
me to.
is that we could have a resolution that even has a expiration date on it that, you know, we need to make a decision by, you know, 120 days from now.
So you would like to have like to be determined within 120 days?
Yeah, at least. I mean, because they got to have an answer
Mhm.
and we need to know who's going to be filling that role.
Mhm.
Because in, you know, like you said, John or Rick, if they had something else going on or they didn't want to come to work, what obligation do they have?
But we do have agreements with other towns in cases that we need coverage like Wheatland. So if we are in a bind, we do have that agreement with them. But I do agree with you. I think we could add the to be determined within 120 days so that at least we have a measurable achievement that we have to have.
Right, and that, you know, again, Lee, you said it yourself, you've had
Mhm.
30 days to look all this over,
Right.
and there's a lot to look over, but that,
Right.
you know, the floodplain administrator, that was something that we had a lot of discussion about,
Mhm.
because it wasn't just something that was dreamt up, it was something that the DEC was requiring us to do.
It's true, but the town at that time gave, I think, over $10,000 for that job, and other towns did the same thing. And the DEC created the same rules for every town, and other towns are not paying that.
I don't think, Lee, I don't think neither one of us are trying to say, don't do a better job or
Right.
find
Right,
better
yeah.
numbers to it. We're just trying to protect the town a little
Yeah.
bit, say, hey, these guys are locked in for 120 days or whatever. And that gives you
But
the time
I
to,
cannot lock them in. That's the rules. If I lock them in, they're locked in for the year,
I think we could
and I
add
can't make any
I
change.
think we should add to the resolution at least that the due diligence has to be completed within the 120 days so that at least we have a deadline, that it doesn't just stay open and keep us at that exposure. Does that sound good, at least to add to be determined
Yeah,
within 120 days?
if this is something that's gonna be reviewed, but something that's important to the town, to every taxpayer, it's something that
So which
needs to have a deadline.
which one are you asking?
No, they're just saying to
I know.
add, see this?
The
It'll be
labor
to be
gardener,
determined
we can-
within
Right.
120 days.
Yeah.
And supervisor, if you say within 120 days, that's any time within the 120 days, I believe,
Yeah, within 120 days.
within. So maybe that does give you a lot of flexibility.
Well, there again, give me time to take a look at it. We're having a meeting on the 14th,
Mhm.
and we can bring that up.
Do you want to then?
So I guess the point I'm making is we just need to have it at a
Yeah.
point, it needs to be done, so we don't
Right.
kick this can down the road
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
another year.
But we can't do that.
No.
Legally, I couldn't do that anyway. Okay, but I do have the right to take the time to take a look, to see if there is any way that we can cut some of that cost. Because it's an awful lot of money that we don't have. Okay, and other towns are not paying that. I'm looking to right size the town of Rush with other towns the same.
So are you gonna change your motion to be determined within 100 days or leave it as is?
Okay, guys, yeah, it's a little loud.
Yeah, can you do, so are you gonna keep it as is your motion, or are you gonna add to be determined within 120 days?
I'd add to be determined with 120 days for the code enforcement, building inspector, fire marshal, floodplain administrator.
Okay.
And Lee, I think you do have the right to take it right off the docket for today if you chose to. The whole resolution.
Well, the
you know,
plan was for 120 days
I'm
to
sorry.
know. The plan was for 120 days to know.
Mhm.
But still, I have to think that through before I just jump out there and say yes to anything that we have looked into. And the reason that I know that I'm able to do that is because we're not locking in January 1st, 2026. We need to know. Because, as I said, we're right sizing our town with other towns the size of Rush. And right now, Rush is the smallest town in the county. Okay, we have less than 3,000 people in this town. We can't continue spinning out of control. We have to take a look, and those are the areas that, as I say, we're close to $200,000 a year when you take into consideration benefits, days off, all of that. we're over $200,000. And
Hey, I'm not arguing with that, you know, I just wanna make sure that if there's a fire tonight at somebody's house, there's a fire marshal in town.
the
that
fire
show up.
marshal is in town. The fire
Right.
marshal is still working. The fire marshal knows that they have their job.
Same. And if, you know, someone calls for building inspection, they know someone's gonna show up.
Right. Yes, and building inspector knows that they should be here working tomorrow like they are every day. And they should be here working for the next 120 days. And hopefully we can figure it all out. But
I will note though, if
to verify.
these the positions that we're gonna review,
Mhm.
obviously, we're gonna review these as a board.
Yes, everything
And-
has to be done as a board.
You know, and just some of in a lot of these positions, you know, for what they are, they benefit the entire town.
Yes, but they also are taking too much from the entire town, is my question. Now, 120 days, that's fine. We can put that down.
So we're adding to the resolution to be determined within 120 days.
Yes, we can do that.
All right.
So, hey,
Yeah, you're comfortable with that? You're comfortable with that, right?
I'm fine with
All
it.
right.
Yes, be good.
Sorry.
No, his here.
So do we have a motion? Do I-
Well, I also have the need to separate out the maintenance laborers before, so I would like to say yes to every section but the maintenance laborers, but I'd like to discuss the maintenance laborers first. So if
Are
we
you
could
motioning that?
make a motion to take out the maintenance laborers and then talk about it after we pass or determine this resolution.
Are you trying to remove the positions?
Right now, I just want to discuss them separately and not in this clump. I don't want them to be in this clump because I would like to discuss them separate from this. It's
As
a,
as a separate, I'm sorry.
Just to clarify, it sounds like Councilwoman Rizzo is seeking to amend the pending motion to remove the laborers from this motion so that it can be addressed separately.
thank you.
As its own resolution?
Well, I'd like to, sure.
So all of them except for the maintenance laborers is the motion by Rizzo.
Where do you, I guess, where do you want to put them?
We can just talk about it right afterward, you know, but I'd like to pass everyone as to be determined within 120 days and everyone else who's on here. But for this section, I would like to have a discussion before passing them. Because this
If we have
passes
the
it.
discussion now, can we pass it as one?
Sure,
Let's discuss it now.
okay. So I would like, for decades, we had 2 laborers. And now we have 3. And Jeff Hargrave was added, and I don't know if you ever passed a resolution. And I never heard it on the agenda. And therefore, I don't know if it was passed in the proper way. But I did hear that the supervisor could add a laborer under conditions of an emergency. And I heard that he was added and I can't remember if he was added for the flood or if he was added for when the sprinkler went out in the library, but he came to our rescue, I think, and helped us out at that time. But to add him as a part-time for the whole year, when he was added originally for just emergency, it doesn't feel right to me. That's number one. So I would like to take him off and not pass him as a laborer that we have for the year.
For the town board, if you want to go into further discussions about a particular person in detail, and you want those conversations to be outside the public, you do have the right to make a motion for executive session to discuss it. If there's anything sensitive, just for your own benefit.
Well, we have a motion on the floor.
And
mean,
then,
So
this is my feeling. Right now, at this point, I feel that all these positions are something that we should discuss in executive session. Because it seems like there's a lot of matters that do not need to be discussed in front of the public. Especially when we're getting into particular names.
I
Why don't we make the whole thing with 120-day review? Give us time to go over the thing.
And we can talk about it executive session at a later time.
Pass it as it is, but with 120-day review, we'll go through it. It still gives you all the liability or all the ability to go through the budget and crank numbers. And it just gives us a deadline, say, okay, we got 120 days to work on this and just knock it out.
Why would we even have one more month of having someone who was called in for an emergency? That emergency is over. Why would we have another month paying somebody at a time when our budget is cumbersome, to say the least? And I also would like to see job descriptions for each of these maintenance laborers. I haven't seen the job descriptions, and I'd like for us to do our due diligence in seeing them before they even work another month. So for those, I really recommend that we do not pass that section. That's why I wanted to single them out.
We did lose a laborer, or we did lose a maintenance man at the first of the year.
Right.
Bill Chase has been here forever. So he's not on there anymore.
I'd be comfortable with letting Dick Schneider continue. I
don't
know,
think we can name names.
Right, we can't do that.
well, they're clumped together.
Well,
and
we,
he's been serving the
we have a
town.
motion on the table. Can we call a vote?
Hold on, Councilwoman Brizzo first.
Would restate what the pending motion is, just so that one's clear.
The pending motion. I move that the town board acknowledge, approves the following position, and where possible, appointments of persons to the office and positions specified for the year beginning January 1, 2026, and ending December 31, 2026. The complete motion is in front of you. This is the summary.
So once this gets passed, that
We
means,
have a,
well, I
second.
still have some questions.
Second.
okay,
I still have
Could you
some
call the vote?
questions, please.
Did you say within 120 days?
with 120 days.
And you're already saying then January 1 to
Can you call the
2020.
roll?
It's not proper to call the roll right now. Lee, when I have a question? But you're saying for all those people that don't have to be determined, it sounds as though like for the assessor's clerk, it's for the whole year. For the dog control, it's for the whole year. For Marjorie Henderson, it's for the whole year. And I'm fine with that. I would say yes to that. But for then here, for Susan, me, the whole year, I'm fine with that. Patricia Stevens,
Names.
We have a
if
motion.
this
on
was
the table.
separate, we would be
We have
speaking
a
about
motion on
this.
the table.
So, but to keep the maintenance laborers, it's a done deal. It's already said. The resolution would be passed.
You can't talk.
So by saying a yes to this, that means we're saying yes to everyone that doesn't have to be determined. And I'm asking for a job description before we keep all the laborers in for 1 year. Because I know that the citizens care about where their tax dollars are being spent. And I would like you to look at the job description, and we hired someone, Jeff Hargrave, to be in for an emergency only. Why would he be on the docket again for I think it's 13 hours. It's $17 an hour. For what purpose?
I think at this point, the supervisor's not gonna table this motion. It's on there. We have to proceed with a vote of either nay if you don't want to go forward as is. It can be adjusted, or you can do aye or abstain.
Could you call the roll, please?
Rizzo,
And you did put all the other to be determined within
120.
120 days. No,
Amended.
Councilman Kives,
Yes.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman Boshin,
The amended aye.
Supervisor Hank.
Aye. Resolution 2. I move that the town board approve Justice Michael Talon and Ryan Lang's reappointment of the following persons to the office and part-time positions specified for the year beginning January 1, 2026, and ending December 31, 2026. Town clerk to town jesters, Michelle Rast and Pamela Rajaki
Rich Likey.
Riclicky. Clerk 5, Amy Sorts. Town court attendants, Tom Sylvester, and 1 to be determined.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Pies,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman McGoshin,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins.
Aye. Resolution number 3. I move that the town board acknowledge and approves the reappointment for new 5-year terms effective January 1, 2026 through December 31, 2030 of the following members to their respective boards where they have been serving are in good standings and have adhered to the New York State rules, regulations, and training requirements. Stephen Wisniewski to the Planning Board, and Patricia Kraus to the Conservation Board. The Zoning Board has 1 open seat that has not been resolved.
I'll second it.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes, just for the record, Patricia Krause's name is without the E, if you could,
all the
Take care of
corrections and
that.
typos
Thank
and-
you.
Yes, that will be made. Councilman Pies,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman McGoshin,
I have one question. Is the zoning board going to be open for review? Is it advertised to be filled?
Yes.
it's always advertised.
Okay.
I have, not received any applications as of January 1st.
and I have another question about that position. How long do you keep the resumes on file?
3 years.
And then maybe we can move that then to like the front page of the website if we need someone to apply, but I'll vote aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
I was wondering if we could request either to move resolution 4 toward the end. I received correspondence from a few residents and pertaining, and I don't want to say anything because it's not appropriate to say names here. But I would request that maybe we move into an executive session. It was some pretty serious emails I would like to acknowledge, and especially the resident voice, if they were willing to reach out about them, I'd like to discuss that.
So, the board can either do that now, which would require people to leave and then come back, or they can move this resolution to the end and do executive session at the end when people have already left.
Can we move it to the end? Because we're already deep in.
Let's move it to the end.
Yes.
Yep,
what are we referring to again?
number 4. So we're to number 5.
Resolution number 5. I move that the following liaisons be maintained for establishing communications between the town board and sub-boards as followed. Conservation Board, Councilperson Keys. Fire Commissioner, Councilperson Brown. Library Board of Trustees, I will serve as liaison. Planning Board, Councilperson McGlashan. Zoning Board of Appeals, Councilperson Rizzo.
I'll second that.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Pies,
Yes.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman McGoshin,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins.
Aye. Resolution number 6. I move that the town board acknowledge and approves that I, as town supervisor, enter into a contractual agreement with LGSS, Local Government Support Services, to provide the town ongoing financial and accounting support for the year 2026, including completion of the state required annual financial report.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Pies,
Yep.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye. Resolution number 7. I move that the Town Board of Rush, New York, County of Monroe, has consented, to the temporary assignment of its justice to preside in other town courts in the 7th Judicial District as the need arise during the year 2026. The temporary assignment of judges from other towns' courts in the 7th Judicial District to this court as the need arise during the year 2026.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Pies,
Yep.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye. Resolution 8, 2026. I move that the town board acknowledge and approve the town clerk Pamela Hargrave reappointment of Annette Buchanan as full-time deputy town clerk for the year beginning January 1, 2026 and ending December 31, 2026.
I'll second it.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Pies,
Yes.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye. Resolution 10. I move that the town board acknowledge and approve the reappointment of the town clerk collector Pamela Hargrave for the following position and responsibilities for the year starting January 1, 2026 to December 31, 2026. Record Management Officer, pertinent to Section 57.19 of the Cultural Affairs Law, which requires the Record Management Officer to establish a program for the proper maintenance of all town records. Licensing agent for New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, which provides hunting and fishing license to all eligible persons for 2026. Register of Vital Statistics for 2026.
I'll second. We miss one? Yeah. 9.
Yes.
Councilman Pies,
Yep.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
we're gonna go back to.
Resolution 9.
Great.
I move that the town board acknowledge and approve the highway superintendent, David J. Kyle, reappointment of Carrie Ann Kyle, deputy highway superintendent for the year beginning January 1, 2026 and ending December 31, 2026.
I'll second that.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Pies,
Yep.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 11, 2026. Be it resolved that pursuant to section 64(1) of the town law, the town board hereby designates Five Star Bank as the depository for the town funds for all of its offices and departments and withdraws upon check, draft, wire, note, or written order of the town of Rush, signed by the supervisor Lee Hankins and David McGlashan, deputy supervisor, congratulations, is the additional signatory when the supervisor is not available. And also that the bank is hereby authorized to pay such checks, drafts, notes, or written orders, and to receive the same for credit to the account of the payee or payment of the individual indebtedness of the payee or any other withholder when so signed, without injury as to the circumstances of their issue or the disposition of their proceeds, whether drawn to the individual order of or tendered in payment of the individual obligation of any of the above persons or of any officers or employee of the town. And also that the supervisor and the town clerk are hereby authorized to certify the bank a copy of this resolution. The bank may rely on and act upon such certification if of any changes therein. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Tice,
Aye.
Councilman Brown.
Aye.
Councilman LeBlanc,
I,
Supervisor Hankins.
Aye.
Resolution 12, 2026. Be it resolved that the town board acknowledges and approves the appointment of the following volunteer library board of trustees members for 5-year terms as specified. Julia Letterman, President, term ending 12/31/2028. Kelly Pruden, Vice President, term ending 12/31/2030. Richard Hart, Member, term ending 12/31/2028. Sharon Mason, Member, term ending 12/31/2029. Letty Lakowski, Treasurer, term ending 12/31/2028. Maggie Mazur, Secretary, term ending 12/31/2030. Karen Kirk, Member, term ending 12/31/2029. I need to add someone here. His name is Christopher Laniak, and his term is ending at 12/31/2028. Julia, is that correct? Thank you. And I'd also like to add, because the board, even though the term ends on a certain date, the officers only have a 1-year appointment. So I'm going to ask that we also add this wording, because right now, let's say Julia Letterman, she's the president, her term ends in 2028, but she's only the president until 2027. So this could be misleading. So I'd like to add the following to this resolution. The term end dates refer to the board member's service on the library board, not to their officer status. The library board elects officers on an annual basis per its bylaws. If I could just add that to the resolution.
Well, on the question, would it be the fact that she's on the board till 2028, but the supervisor's or the chairman's position is only a 1-year stint out of that 2-year or 5-year election that is in there?
Exactly. But they're also, the vice president is the same, and the treasurer is the same, and the secretary is the same. It's a 1-year, even though their tenure is longer, but it's all 1-year appointments. Is that correct? And that's Julia Letterman, and she's the new president of the library trustee. So
Okay, I'm just asking a question.
I guess I'm a little lost with what you're talking about.
Okay, so just adding that, and I have given a copy to the clerk, just adding that helps to distinguish more that Julia's not the president for 2 years, she's only the president for 1 year. So each of this,
So that will be
board-
decided at the end of this year,
but without
for
this,
2027.
without
We don't
this,
need to go into 2027 during the year 2026.
this is just a qualifier, so people are not misled in thinking that she's the president for 2 years, because that's her term ending 2028.
Right now, she's the president for 12/31/2026 through 12/31/2027. They will make that decision in the library board with their board commissioners as to who will be the president the next year.
yeah, it just terminates on 12/31/2026.
So we have it written
The term.
as it should be now. I'd like to call for a vote.
Councilwoman Rizzo.
Are we,
Is there a
you didn't get a
Oh, I'm
second.
sorry.
I'll second in keeping it the way it's written.
I'd like to call for a vote.
Not including that or including that? I'm.
No, the way it's written,
The way it's
Wait,
written.
it's right.
yes.
Councilwoman Rizzo.
Are we adding Christopher Laniak? He's a member until 2028? I think it would be important to reflect that.
I spoke with the library director to make sure that she gave me the names the way she wanted them written as the members.
Okay, I think we can always add Christopher then at another meeting, so I
We
can,
can do that at another meeting after we talk to the library board.
we do have the president here.
Well,
I spoke with him, by name.
yes,
You can come up to the
Well-
mic, please.
I think there just may have been a simple error. I spoke with the library director this morning, or this afternoon, and also by email. And she says she did include Christopher Laniak on the list that she gave you. Maybe she didn't, and she just thought she did, but apparently that was her intention. He was added to the library board at the October meeting to fill the remaining term of Kathy Frank after Kathy Frank left.
well, I would agree to that. If,
Thank you for the clarification.
yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Okay, thank you.
I'll second that with the amended Chris Laniak, assuming everything checks out.
Right,
Are you calling my name? I didn't hear you.
Councilman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kies,
Yep.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins.
aye,
Resolution 13, 2026. Be it resolved that the town board does hereby authorize the supervisor to retain Underberg and Kessler LLP as the town attorney for the town of Rush commencing January 1, 2026 through December 31st, 2026 for the blended hourly rates of $3.15 per hour for attorney and $2.15 for paralegals. Itemized invoices will be submitted on an itemized bill on a monthly basis. It is understood that the approved budget amount for legal services for 2026 is $58,400, excluding litigation and other matters, when authorized, will be billed at an hourly rate consistent with the terms of the town's retainer agreement that will be signed and dated after the acceptance.
I'll second.
Councilman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kies,
Yep.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins.
aye,
Be it resolved, Resolution 14, 2026. Be it resolved that the following annual audits will be conducted by the councilpersons noted pursuant to New York State Audit Guideline for the Office of Town Court, councilpersons Rizzo and Brown, Supervisor, councilpersons Kies and McLaughlin, Town Clerk, councilpersons Kies and Brown.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kies,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins.
aye,
Resolution 15, 2026. Be it resolved that the following procedural actions will be taken for all new employees hired between January 1, 2026 to December 31st, 2026. Number one, town clerk will notify all new employees in writing regarding their new appointments and terms of office. Their need to take an oath of office where applicable and file such appointments as required by law. Copies of each notification will be placed in the employee's personal file. Number two, supervisor secretary or other employee designated by the supervisor will furnish an employee handbook that includes the code of ethics to all new appointees, who will be required to sign and return an acknowledgement of receipt of the handbook for placement in the employee's personnel file located with the town clerk's office, and a copy provided to the finance office. Number three, the town clerk files a listing of all town elected officials and offices with the address, date, appointment, and expiration date of terms by the 10th of January with the New York State Department of Audit and Control, 123 William Street, New York, 10038, and within 20 days of the appointment with Monroe County Clerk's Office, 39 West Main Street, Rochester, New York, 14514.
146, I'm sorry.
14614. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kais,
Yep.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 16, 2026. Be it resolved that the supervisor enter in a memorandum of understanding with the Rush Fire Department for the purpose of allowing access to the town's fuel storage facility at the same state bid cost as the town assumes. Memorandum of understanding is effective January 1, 2026 through December 31st, 2026. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Councilwoman Rizzo, it is the Rush Fire District and not the department.
Do I need to say it again? Or are we all set?
I just want to clarify that and then I'll call.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kais,
Yes.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 17, 2026. Be it resolved that the amount contributed by the town for reimbursement for expenses incurred by the employees having medical coverage with the town of Rush under the flexible spending agreement be set at $500 for the fiscal year 2026. Contributions made by full-time employees for their flexible spending accounts are limited to a maximum of $5,000 for dependent care and $2,750 for health care for the year 2026. Full-time employees who are not covered by the town medical insurance will receive a payment of $1,300 for the year, paid in installments in their bi-weekly paycheck. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kais,
Yep.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 18, 2026. Be it resolved that the adoption of basic life accidental death, AD&D, Enhanced Benefit Option Mutual of Omaha Insurance Plan, which was adopted January 1, 2026, will be extended to only full-time employees beginning January 1, 2026 and ending December 31st, 2026. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kais,
Yep.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 19, 2026. Be it resolved to approve the adoption of the in-network and out-of-network member plans for vision and eyewear for all full-time employees, which began January 1st, 2022, and will again be offered for 2026.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman Kais,
Aye.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 20, 2026. Be it resolved that the monies in the amount of $200 per person will be allowed for the purchase of work shoes, work coats, and work jackets for all full-time highway department for people, foremen, HMEOs, MEOs, and highway laborers. And these items will be maintained by the employee at their own expense.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kais,
Yep.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 21, 2026. I move that the authorized mileage reimbursement be set at the current United States Government Internal Revenue Service optional standard mileage rate for all those who travel by private vehicle on town business. Do I have a second?
One second.
Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kais,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 22, 2026. I move that the 2026 payroll schedule be as follows. 26 bi-weekly pay periods with payment every other Thursday for all employees with the exception of quarterly payments starting with the last pay period of March 2026 for the following: town historian, town board council persons, and members of the zoning board of appeals, planning board, and conservation board. with the exception of a single payment for members of the Board of Assessment Review for their participation in the Assessor's Grievance Day on Thursday, May 28th, 2026. Do I have a second?
No second.
Councilwoman Rizzo.
Yes.
Councilman Pies,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman Washington,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 23. I move that the town board authorize the regular monthly meetings of the following boards be scheduled and meet as needed at 7 p.m. as follows. Town Board, second and fourth Wednesdays, except for Tuesday, November 10th, Monday, November 30th, and Monday, December 28th. Additional special meetings and workshop meetings will be scheduled as needed. Conservation Board, second Thursday. Zoning Board of Appeals, third Thursday. Planning Board, fourth Tuesday. Do I have a second?
No second.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Pies,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman Washington,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 24, 2026. I move that each appointed member of the Zoning Board of Appeals and Planning Board be required by New York State Town Law 267 and 271 to attend 4 hours of training per year, and that any training in excess may be carried over into the succeeding years. Certification of attendance at the required training course is to be presented to the town clerk by the end of the calendar year. A copy of the training certification shall be filed with the town clerk and placed in the employee personnel file. Do I have a second?
No second.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Pies,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman Washington,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 25, 2026. I move that each current member of the Zoning Board of Appeals and Planning Board shall be required to attend the mandatory training required by New York State law annually. Certification of attendance at the required training course is to be presented to the town clerk by the end of the calendar year. A copy of the training certification shall be placed in the employee personnel file. Do I have a second?
No second.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Pies,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman Washington,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 26, 2026. I move that the town board acknowledges and approves Assessor's Grievance Day for 2026 to be held on the fourth Thursday after the fourth Tuesday in May or May 28th, 2026, at a time to be determined at a later date. Do I have a second?
No second.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Pies,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman Washington,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 27, 2026. I move that pursuant to section 64, subsection 11 of the town law, the town board hereby designates the Honeyway Falls Sentinel, 3909 Rush Mendon Road, Mendon, New York, 14506, as the town's official newspaper for publication of all legal notices. Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Pies,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman Washington,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 28, 2026. I move that the following officials file reports with the town clerk, town supervisor, and town board for review and consideration as scheduled. 1. Town building inspector file quarterly reports in accordance with the town or the Rush Town Code with due dates of January 13th, April 15th, July 15th, October 15th. Number 2, Town Code Enforcement Officer / Fire Marshal file quarterly report in accordance with the Rush Town Code with due dates of January 13th, April 15th, July 15th, and October 15th. Number 3, Town Dog Control Officer file semi-annual reports with the town supervisor with due dates of January 13th and July 15th. Number 4, Town Recreation Supervisor file semi-annual reports with the town supervisor with due dates of January 13th and July 15th. Number 5, Town Historian file semi-annual reports with due dates of January 13th and July 15th. Do I have a second?
No second.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Pies,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman Washington,
Aye.
Supervisor Jenkins,
Aye.
Resolution 29, I move that vouchers for claims be submitted to the town clerk's office by noon on the Wednesday prior to the second and fourth Wednesday of each month, and that an abstract of claims be submitted to the supervisor and available for the town board's review by the Monday preceding the next regularly scheduled town board meeting, and that vouchers shall not be accepted for payment without prior department head approval. Do I have a second?
A second.
Councilman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kais,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman Blatchen,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
And resolution 30, 2026, I move that under section 118 of town law, the town board authorizes the payment in advance of audit any claims for agreed upon public utility services, including electric, gas, water, telephone services, internet service, postage, freight, and express charges. All such claims shall be presented at the next regular meeting for audit, and the claimant and the officer incurring or approving the same shall be jointly and severally liable for any amount disallowed by the town board. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kais,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman Blatchen,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 31 of 2026, I so move that the supervisor, as chief financial officer, is hereby authorized to invest funds of the town which are not required for immediate expenditures as provided by section 11 of general municipal law during the year 2026. Do I have a second?
I second.
Councilman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kais,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman Blatchen,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 32 of 2026, I so move that the just and reasonable expenses incurred by the town officials in attending Monroe County Association of Supervisors and Monroe County Town Clerk, Tax Receiver, and Collector Association regularly scheduled luncheon meetings will be acceptable town charge and will be reimbursed. Do I have a second?
I second.
Councilman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kais,
Yep.
Aye.
Councilman Blatchen,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 33 of 2026, I so move that the membership in the Association of Towns of the State of New York and payment of membership dues for 2026 in the amount of $1,099 is hereby authorized. Do I have a second?
Yes.
Councilman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kais,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman Blatchen,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 34 of 2026, I so move that the town board deems the membership of municipal officials and association of municipal offices, officials and paying membership of municipal officials and associations, it's doubled.
Yeah, it looks double.
Yeah. Deems the membership of municipal officials and associations and paying dues thereof as actual and necessary expenses, and the town and the board has determined that the membership would be beneficial to the officials in the performance of their municipal functions and make such membership of duty of their office.
I would say that I would like myself, so I can't second it, but I would like to be able to review each of the expenditures as they come in. So I would say, I cannot second this.
I'll second.
Councilman Rizzo,
No.
Councilman Blatchen,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman Kais,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 35 of 2026. I so move that the adopted 2026 budget authorize expenses for the purpose of training courses held by the Association of Towns, State and County offices for the supervisor, town board members, highway superintendent, deputy highway superintendent, town clerk, deputy town clerk, and budget officer may be reimbursed for actual expenses for the year of 2026 as budgeted and to the limit of the per diem charges as determined by the state of New York and the IRS schedule for respective budgeted accounts. Do I have a second?
This would be just for the courses themselves, but nothing for any stays or room and board or anything like that. Would that be, am I correct in saying that? It's just for the courses themselves?
No, they're out of state, they're out of town. You have to stay overnight.
Okay, so I would like to evaluate this on each time that it comes up. I'd like to be able to evaluate it based on the cost. So I won't, right, I know Melissa to second it, but I won't be seconding it.
I second.
Councilman Rizzo,
No.
Councilman Pies,
Yeah.
Councilman Caution,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins.
Aye.
Sorry. Resolution 36 of 2026. I so move that the town of Rush may accept Monroe County and New York State and School District Coalition bid proposals for materials used in the highway department. Do I have a second?
I second.
Councilman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Pies,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman Caution,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 37 of 2026. I so move that the town board acknowledges the necessity for annual maintenance and upkeep of the buildings and equipment for the health and safety of employees and the public, and expresses its approval for the supervisor to contract for the annual business software, IT support, postage and equipment leases, etc., and any emergency repairs or replacements that may arise.
I second.
Do I have a second?
Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman, did you say something, Councilman Pies?
No.
Councilman Pies,
Yep.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman Caution,
I just want to note, I want to thank our IT support. They've been very helpful getting up and running. I'll be voting aye.
glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
I'm sorry, Councilman Caution,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 38 of 2026. I so move that petty cash funds be continued and established as follows for 2026. Library, $160. Town clerk checking, $100. Town historian, $25. Supervisor, $50. Recreation supervisor, $100. Town clerk, clerk and petty cash combined, $200. Town justice, each $50. Do I have a second?
I second.
Councilman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Pies,
Yeah.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman Caution,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 39 of 2026. I so move that the town board acknowledges for the period of January 1, 2026 to December 31, 2026, that credit cards are established for town business use only for departments listed and approved at the August 2009 town board meeting, and in accordance with the credit card use policy dated and adopted by the town board on December 30, 2013. Supervisor, 9,000. Town clerk, 2,500. Highway superintendent, 2,500. Library director, 1,000. Recreation supervisor, 1,000. Recreation leader, 1,000. Building maintenance, 1,000. Do I have a second?
I second.
Councilman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Pies,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman Caution,
Before I vote, I just want it noted that it looks like we should probably look at this policy if we have something approved in 2009. We're getting a little far away from that date in 2013. But I'll vote aye.
We can,
and Supervisor Hankins.
aye.
Resolution 40 of 2026. I so move to adopt the following salaries as legally required effective January 1, 2026. Such salaries, with the exception of town board members, are payable on a bi-weekly basis. Town board members each to be determined. Town justice, $18,512, supervisor, $34,148, town clerk, $72,134, highway superintendent, $98,220. Do I have a second?
A second.
Before the roll, I think it'd be good to explain maybe why the town board members is to be determined, just so that the residents aren't wondering, because I think the budget had it defined, but just like, what's the process probably? behind it?
There was a lot of conversation during the budget process last year about how much we are getting paid, and it was something that I expressed.
Yes, I think it was on, but I think it's a change. I think Supervisor, I think there was a discussion maybe that it was something that had to go through a different process than the just normal budget process.
Yes, that was my understanding.
Okay,
So it couldn't be changed just in the organizational meeting, even though it was already budgeted for.
I don't understand your question.
So it was in the budget, but the dollar amount that we agreed upon when we set the budget is not what'll be reflected in here.
Right.
I think the change, I think the question was, I think the supervisor knows this. That change to lower the amount has to go through a different process than just a normal budget process. So that's why it couldn't just be a standard vote during the budget. I'm newer here, but I know there is like some formality that has to it, but yes, I think that is the explanation.
I
So-
also believe, from what I recall, that it wasn't posted properly before the meeting occurred. The first time it was posted a certain way, but then once the change came, it wasn't posted in that budget meeting. So something to do with the posting as well. I'm not, I don't understand it enough myself.
Why don't we give it the same 120 days that we did in the front of this thing?
Fair enough.
Figure it out.
Okay, to be determined within 120 days.
To be determined within 120 days. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
I think we can determine it within, okay, sure. Yes.
Councilman Kais,
Yes.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman Washington,
Aye.
Supervisor Hagan,
Aye. I think we can talk about that and be.
Resolution 41 2026. I move that pursuant to town law 529 parentheses 16, the town board hereby authorize and delegates to the town supervisor powers and duties of day-to-day administration and supervision of all town and special district facilities and employees, consistent with and in furtherance of any and all state and federal laws applicable thereto, and with any and all local laws. Resolutions or policies hereto, herefore, and hereafter adopted by this town board. A second.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kais,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman Washington,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 42 2026. I hereby move that the state increase the minimum wage and the 2025 town board authorization of a 3.2 increase for other current employees be implemented as of January 1st, 2026. The above resolution is not intended to conflict with the resolution that listed specific positions to be determined, or that the decision not to list certain positions. The goal is to provide the current employees with the compensation agreed to by the 2025 town board, while providing the new 2026 town board ample time to review job descriptions and conduct and complete the necessary research and data gathering before decisions are made on whether to continue, eliminate, or combine positions. Appropriate hours and compensation and positions selected by the supervisor. Town Law 29. Do I have a second?
I'll second. With the addition of the to be determined within 120 days.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kais,
Yes.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 43 twenty twenty-six. Have moved that the town board of Town of Rush hereby approves the security form and amount of the official undertaken for the faithful performance of duties of the town supervisor and chief and fiscal officer and the amount of $250,000. For reference, the resolution was passed on December 2nd, 2025 for the town clerk, collector, deputy town clerk, director of finance, bookkeeper as filed in the town clerk's office, resolution 205-2025. The New York State Association of Towns recommends supervisors be included in the official undertaking. Type of undertaking: public official, liability, employee, dishonesty, computer fraud, funds transfer fraud, insurance company. Insurer is Gary Wilkins Insurance Agency Incorporated, a selective insurance company of South Carolina. Travelers Pro Casualty Company of America, amount $250,000, town clerk, collector, amount $250,000, deputy town clerk, deputy collector, amount $250,000, finance director. A true copy of this resolution shall be affixed to the undertaking to indicate this board's approval thereon in accordance with the town law, section 25. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kais,
Yes.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Resolution 44 twenty twenty-six. I hereby move the pursuant to the town law, section 42, the town board establishes the law, office of deputy supervisor, and that the town board acknowledges and expresses its approval for the supervisor's intention to name David McLaughlin as deputy supervisor for the year 2026 with the right to carry out the duties of the town that might need attention during the absence of the supervisor. Do I have a second?
I second that.
Council,
Yes.
Councilman Kais,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman McLaughlin,
I'll abstain because it's my name.
Aye.
Resolution number 45, 2026. Authorization for supervisor to sign engagement agreement for planning board legal counsel, zoning board of appeals legal counsel, and legal services for the town of Rush. To authorize the supervisor to sign an engagement agreement for the planning board and the zoning board and legal, sorry, I'm reading this again, with the town of Rush with Donald A. Young for $237.50 an hour, dated and commencing January 1st, 2026. And just for purposes of the citizens, so there would be a separate attorney who would work in conjunction with our attorney, Jake Zocklin, by the way. I'm sorry, we didn't introduce Jake Zocklin. But he would be working with him, but he would specifically be working with planning and zoning boards. This attorney.
And Donald would be the one attending if we need it.
So it'd be Don Young will be a separate attorney, but they could commingle their services as well.
and get charged what?
No,
Really?
You want to clarify?
yes, please.
Sure.
Don Young is is proposed to be retained to assist the planning and zoning board with applications and attend those meetings. I would not be assisting the town planning and zoning board in attending their meetings unless for whatever reason he was unavailable and they need. So to your answer question, no, they wouldn't be.
But if he's consulting with you on anything, you're gonna be charging us as,
Well, it wouldn't be double.
oh, but you would be charging us as well.
Well, I was answering a question for you,
I know.
question there.
Yeah, you don't have the comment.
And it is, if you look at some neighboring towns and do some research, it is a pretty common thing in Monroe County. Well, I know we're not supposed to be commenting in the crowd here, but that would be actually a substantial savings to be using this attorney versus the other fee, but. I think going forward, we have to stop the public comment because there isn't a public comment period in this one.
Phyllis, I hope
Well,
that you
let's
come,
go- let's-
and
When,
and the
can we
fir-
go
the
to
first
the
meeting.
next resolution, please?
So we gotta vote on it.
Yeah,
We
we
gotta-
have to vote on that. Oh, I second.
Councilman Rizzo,
Yes,
Councilman Kais,
Yep.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins.
Aye.
so this resolution, I think we can do now as well. Are we,
Right here, we're on 45.
we just did that one. So I think I make a
46.
resolution to end the organizational meeting.
Right.
Do we want to do that prior to
No.
discussing the chairs? And
Well, we have to end the organizational meeting, but we're going to,
there's an executive session
There's
for
an
the
exec-
organization.
sorry.
meeting.
right, okay, right.
So let's
But
not end.
I would like to go to resolution 46.
Okay. May I read it or?
Yes,
Okay, resolution 46, 2026. Be it resolved that we authorize the development and submission of a concept proposal for the New York State Transportation Alternatives Program, also known as TAP. So we'd like to apply for this grant. I'm sorry. The town of Rush, whereas the town of Rush has completed an in-depth planning grant from Monroe County Transportation Council to identify specific projects to make our town's roadways and intersections safer for pedestrians and bicyclists. Whereas grant funding opportunities are available through New York State to support projects that align with the town's goals and priorities identified in the comprehensive plan in the plan developed by Monroe County Transportation Council. Whereas the grant would improve public infrastructure, enhance our community, and strengthen the safe use of our roadways by pedestrians and bicyclists. Therefore, it be resolved by the town board of the town of Rush as follow. Authorization to develop and submit a concept proposal based on the MC, sorry, I forgot what MC means.
Monroe County.
Okay, plan. The town board hereby authorizes the town supervisor to prepare all necessary documents for the development and submission of a grant concept proposal by January 15th, that's the deadline, 2026. The first step required to submit, it's the preliminary deadline. The first step required to submit a proposal by March 15th.
I'll second.
I guess I would just ask for a little clarification. Is this all to do with the pedestrian, bike safety,
yes,
everything?
yes. But in order to apply for grants, we gotta have the town board approval.
Yep.
And we're running out of time too.
I think the same thing Dan and Joanne were working on.
Yeah, it is.
But it still has to be the town board approval.
Okay.
To go after those grants.
Council Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kais,
Yep.
Councilman Brown,
We're not making this part of the organizational, or is this a separate resolution from?
It's a separate resolution in order to apply for those grants.
Okay. Aye.
Councilperson McLaughlin,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
Make a motion to enter executive session
For the purposes of.
for the purposes of discussing
Personnel matter.
I would say resolution
No, personnel matter.
personnel.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Sorry about that.
Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kais,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, we have to come back.
We will be coming back. Those people who are leaving, thank you for coming. You can catch the rest,
Board
perhaps.
plans to make up public business after it comes back or?
No, we don't.
Well, we have the one resolution.
Well,
We can do that now,
they'll
or-
move
What's the resolution that we
enter
have to do?
session, have a conversation,
Which one
come
is
out,
that?
So-
have
Which one?
it out.
Right.
I'm looking, looking.
But we can-
Giving you the
Yes, I think.
information